Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Friday morning. Got a great show lined up, and we'll get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. A year's effort is worth a lifetime of rewards. Now, looking at our high today is going to be right around 89, low tonight 74, and water temperature is around 84 degrees. Been pretty close all week on that. Big thing is the afternoon thunderstorms. They've been coming in. They've been pretty vicious. I tell you, you get caught in one of those lightning has been really strong. We were around one Wednesday afternoon, and it was really, really strong. So be careful if you're outdoors and get some shelter. That lightning can come out of anywhere. Okay, now take a look at our river readings at Apalachicola, Bluntstown. It is still in flood stage, but fortunately now it's starting to drop down, and catfishing should be really good on the river this weekend. A lot of people want to know what to do when the water's like this and all. Folks, you go catfishing. And this is a great time to go now. It's reading at 14.6 this morning and dropping on out for the weekend, okay? Now let's go to Choctahatchee, Caryville, same situation here. You go fishing for catfish on the Choctahatchee, it's going to start dropping out tonight. It's reading a 14 foot this morning. In fact, both rivers are at 14 foot, and both rivers are dropping. So that's the situation there. Now, we'll take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We have what we call neap tides. Some people call them dead tides, but we just don't have any tidal flow today or tomorrow. And the slogan down there at Kent Forest Lawn is when caring counts. Good folks down there when you're in time of need. But looking up at next week's tide is going to start picking up. The last week of August, the last weekend of August, we have good tides. And that's really going in next weekend, folks, is Labor Day weekend. So we're going to have some good tides for Labor Day weekend. Okay, a marine forecast now is coming out of east, southeast at 5 to 10. So we do have a little bit of breeze, and so folks are getting ready to, I know, do some good things for the weekend. Let's go and do our fishing game forecast in this segment here. So we'll make sure we get it in. Brought to us by Mark Coward at Edgewater Beach Realty. His number is 832-6000. Time this morning, we're looking at 2:30 to 4:30. And this afternoon, tell you boss, you want to get off early because you can catch some fish between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. All right, that's our 2-hour block times. All right. I talked to Miller, just got off the phone with him before the show down at Sea Quarters Marina in Caryville, and he said it's been slow down there this week too. Water's dirty, and a lot of folks starting back to school, and it's just been a slow week in Caryville. But the fish are still out there, folks, and they got to eat. So remember our motto here: you don't know until you go. Let's take this break. We'll be back with our special guest. All right, welcome back, and welcome to Brad Stevens.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Brad. Good to have you as always. Brad always brings all kind of good stuff, and the stuff he brings now, what stuff is people catching fish on and everything, and they're helping out the outdoorsmen. So how's everything been going?
Everything's been going just absolutely wonderful at the store. You know, despite the rain, people are still rolling in. People are still fishing. You know, the first part of July, it was a ghost town out there. We felt like the Maytag repairman. But, you know, it's kind of worked around. I guess people realize, you know, we all moved to Seattle whether we realized it or not. So we got to get out in the rain. And guess what? Those fish still have to eat. They are not going to starve to death, I promise you.
Yeah, they're going to be out there, and we do have some good scattered reports, too. So, guys are coming in and buying stuff from you. And so when somebody, I always felt like this, when they come in and buying tackle, they obviously have had good reports, have had good success.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things that people are doing well on?
The Aqua Dream spoons have really, really taken off. You know, it's a willow leaf design spoon.
This is a good one.
And, you know, you can see it has a built-in weed guard. I guess we can see that.
Yeah.
Good sharp hooks here. But just this flash, and everybody in this town seems to throw Johnson silver minnow spoons, even though they're gold. They throw them, it goes kerplunk. I mean, it literally goes kerplunk when it hits the water.
Yeah.
With this willow leaf design, as it pulls through the water, it actually rotates. It comes with a swivel, and it rotates through the water very, very good. The copper color's been very, very productive. Now this, I can't wrap my small brain around why in dark water you throw dark baits. I think it should be the opposite, but it works. You know,
it works, yeah.
All the fish are staying in our bays a copper color, and the redfish they're catching on these things have that beautiful bronze color on them. You know, everything's just real bronze. So, but I think the key that's making this particular spoon so productive is the vibration it puts off in the water as it rolls through. It puts off that vibration. And then also your top water baits. You know, we're here, I don't even know what they gave me. Top Dog Junior here. Good, it has a nice rattle with it. That nice thud, 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 and this just through the water really allows the fish to hone in on where the bait is. You know, they have top dogs, she dogs. You know, there's some unfair lures in this series that also make a rattle. They've been very productive with just that thud, 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 and this will actually walk the dog as it goes.
That's a good color too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Color itself.
The way I pick what to bring, Coach texts me every morning before the show, or the morning before the show, and says, "Hey, you on tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Yes." So I immediately call all the guys to the floor and I say, "What do we need to talk about on Panhandle Outdoors? What have people been talking? It's just not me walking around trying to pick out what we need to sell, to be honest with you. It's our guys in the store that are on the floor, Kyle, Al, and Captain Wade, that talk to y'all when you come in, that they pick what I come in and talk about, because it's what's hot, it's what's new, it's what's being actually productive." So,
and I want to go back to this one more time now. This spoon right here, folks, I fished this summer, and some folks I fished with, and including myself, we've had really good luck with redfish on this spoon, this color right here. It's a good one. A
tip on the spoons, though, we've had a few people have this is a Phillips head screw that goes in, so you can replace the hook. A few people have been having this spoon screw back out. A dot of super glue on here, and you don't have to worry about the super glue's strong enough to hold it, but yet you can put a screwdriver on there if you ever do need to change out your hooks. You know, big redfish straightens it or it gets rusty or something like that. So very good baits. And you know, old NCR rig, can't say enough about the titanium popping corks. It doesn't really matter what color your float is. A lot of people are taking this cup face right now because it's throwing more water, like a top water popper. These all come with a knockoff DOA shrimp on them and some fluorocarbon leader. But this is a good bait. Most people are cutting off their knockoff DOA and replacing it with a real DOA, or they're putting Gulp or Trigger X baits. Actually been very productive. The Trigger X baits, you've heard me talk about them. They are less. They're less money than Gulp because you get more in the bag. They're more durable. Pinfish don't kill them as bad, and I feel they actually have a little bit better action. I personally don't like Gulp shrimp. They have no action. But they catch fish. That's all there is to it. They catch really good fish.
All right. Well, I've got a couple more things. Let's go ahead and take our break now. We'll come back and watch the rest of this stuff, okay? All right, welcome back. Here with Brad Stevens from Sunjammer, the business Brad started himself. And speaking of businesses, we want to welcome a new sponsor, the Eye Center. Thank you for coming on as a big sponsor for Panhandle Outdoors. I know I felt so good, Brad. I was in there a little while back and talking to them. There were 9 people in the lobby there waiting to be checked out and all. And I was standing at the desk and people started talking to me. 6 of those 9 people watched Panhandle Outdoors, so I was tickled with that, and I think it impressed them too. So thank y'all for coming on and sponsor. If any of y'all want to sponsor, just give me a call. I'll be glad to come out and talk to you. We have some spots available, and that's what keeps us rolling, folks. Sponsors like Brad, going by and buy all the stuff he's showing. Go buy
all of it.
Now, aren't you having a sale or something?
We are. We're going to have a sale this weekend. Everybody wants to know winter kayaks on sale, winter kayaks on sale. Well, they aren't really on sale this weekend, but we're getting rid of our demo boats. We're starting to cycle out some of our rental boats. So it's not going to be like a massive, the entire store's 40% off or something like that. But we are going to have some, and it's going to be Saturday only. So come in for Saturday. We're open 7 to 5. Get there early because it's first come, first serve. We aren't going to talk about prices. We aren't going to talk about selection. If you want to know the details, you got to show up.
Okay, that's a good deal. That's a good way to do it.
So, and we're going to have some rods and reels, just some rods on sale. We're going to have, some buffs that Coach and I are about to talk about on sale. There's going to be little odds and ends sales throughout it. Everybody does the big Labor Day tent sales. Everybody's tired of tent sales.
We're going to call this a Sunjammer's mystery sale.
Bingo.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, let's talk about those masks. I'm sold on those.
Buffs. I'm still not a fan of these, I'll be honest with you.
I wasn't either at first.
Coach likes them. I don't like anything around my neck at all. I'd rather have bugs biting, a sunburn, or windburn than simply put this on. That lets you know how small my brain is. We talked about that earlier. We have a good selection of buffs for your fishermen. We have only the UV series, which is what you want. These are going to be on sale. And then for you hunters, we have the camo versions as well. We may have one of these that are insulated. If we do, they will not last long when they go on sale. So we may not have them, may be out.
Yeah.
But
and if for archery season and all, that's a must. You got to have those with all the bugs and all that.
Absolutely, you know, and the only time I've worn one of these is when I'm fishing West Bay early in the morning or late in the afternoon, because you get up there and you just get bugs flying up your nose, or you go, oh, I missed a redfish. Then you're hacking for 30 minutes because you sucked in, you know, 5,000 bugs. So
that's true.
You know,
we've done that, but it helps out too, especially fishing in the middle of the day. You know, sometimes you get caught up there. I don't like to fish in the middle of the day, but when you're offshore a lot, it happens.
Absolutely. And to help out with the bugs, cactus juice. This is DEET-free. Y'all heard me tell about why it doesn't say insect repellent on here in past shows. This stuff, it just simply works. You spray it on, it's all natural, so it's safe to use on kids. I use it on my kids, I use it on myself. And I don't like bug sprays, I don't like lotion, I don't like sunscreen. I can stand this stuff, it's not too bad. And it has a good smell to it, but not a good smell that attracts bugs. So cactus juice. And we're $2 cheaper than Amazon on that. So when you go online thinking you're gonna save it, we're $2 cheaper.
And all this stuff we show you, it's good. It's outdoor stuff that we use every day and all. And it's really, if you get outdoors in the woods or in the water, you got to have some kind of protection from these bugs.
Absolutely.
This time of year. Now all this water, all this rain we've had, all this water standing, folks, the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes going to be bad next month or so.
I hate to say it, they really are. We do a walk around the shop every day.
Yeah.
To dump water out of kayaks, out of garbage can lids, buckets, bait buckets, and you go, why do you do it every day? Well, one, it's raining every day, but two, we're missing something. So we're going back, and we thought, you know, we rolled a kayak over. Well, the water rolled out, but it ran into another cubby hole, so it's hard to go. Suffix 832 braid. Some people say this is the best braid ever manufactured. It has 7 strands of Dyneema and 1 of Gore Performance fiber woven together. There's 32 weaves per inch. So this is a very tight weave on your line. It casts a bloody mile. It has superior abrasion resistance. It's Captain Wade's in the store favorite line. He doesn't trust anything with his clients or his tournament fish, but Suffix. And then I didn't bring a Yeti cooler with us, but I brought the hats. We do have Yeti hats, and we have Yeti coolers in all the colors. If you're wanting their new ice blue color that we actually unveiled a week early and got in trouble for it here on the show, we have them, but they are running out very quickly. Yeti projected to double their business in 2013.
Wow.
By June 1st, they'd already doubled their business for the year, which means they're playing catch up. Everybody's out of inventory. We have a huge stock of it, but the ice blue colors are becoming fewer and fewer and fewer far between.
Brad, what do you think is the big success story there with Yeti cooler?
Quality. That's all there is. It's just good quality, and everybody that comes on there, there's Icy Tech, Orca, Grizzly coolers. Yeah. They're all knockoffs. Yeti was the first of the core. They're a tremendous marketing company, which is, I hate to say it, they're successful because they're great marketers. But they have phenomenal customer service. We had a customer that he bought 3 or 4 of them from us. It was his 7th Yeti in his bunch. He had a leaky drain plug. We swapped it out for him. Yeti swapped it out for me. So they're not above having problems. No company's above having problems. It's how they handle the problems that arise that separate the phenomenal companies away from the good companies. And Yeti stands behind their product 110%.
And you had the same deal with Hobie too. I know you
Absolutely.
You mentioned that before. That's so good at Sunjammers because you have those kind of quality products.
And that's one of the first that when we basically I made Yeti interview to come into our store more or less. And I asked that. I said, what happens if a customer buys a product from me? I'm swapping it out to make it right with my customer. What are you going to do for me? You know, I've got to look out for my business as well. So they're a great company, and there's little things that are different on the Yetis and the other that set them apart. Their seals are recessed. Their front latches are just slightly in or out from the other companies that holds the lid down. They're expensive. You can't sugarcoat the price of a Yeti, but it should be the last cooler you ever buy unless somebody with sticky fingers borrows it.
Yeah, great cooler there. Okay, we're going to get ready to, let's see, we got anything else, or does that wrap it up?
I think that wraps it up.
And don't forget the mystery sale this weekend.
7
now,
to 5.
We're going to get ready. We're going to try. Brad and I are going to try to put together a famous Friday fishing report. We don't have a lot to work with. We're going to take this break now. We're going to get set up and bring some fish. We're going to give you the fishing times again, and then also talk about the importance of just getting out there. Okay, let's take this break and we'll be right back. Okay, folks, welcome back to Tarpon Rock Seafood Famous Friday Fishing Forecast. Brad and I are going to get through this, but first we're going to do our drawing, Brad. So shake them up good, and our first one, this is going to be winning a $20 gift certificate to go down there, pick out anything you want for $20. All right, that winner is Nat Harris, Panama City Beach. Nat's a loyal viewer. Nat, I'm glad you won. I know you've been catching a lot of fish, so you're probably going to just get some scallops or something, okay? Now, this is going to be the winner of the big old red snapper, and that winner is James Miller III. The first winner right here, James Miller III. Good job. All right, we got that taken care of. To run down there at Tarpon Dock Seafood. Now, start on our fishing report, Brad. Go ahead.
Oh, well, they've been catching them at Tarpon Dock Seafood very consistently. No, fishing's actually really good right now, folks. You literally just have to, you got to get out. What you're saying, you got to get out there to do it. I say you can't catch them sitting on the couch. I know East Bay, West Bay, San Andrews Bay is all productive. People that are catching fish, though, it's good for them, bad for us. They are not telling us where or how because they feel like they've honed in on a secret. I know the baits they're using, they're throwing, anything that puts off a vibration, stained waters. I know one guy slipped up. He said, "Look for the bait pods. There is bait in the bay, and those fish are close to the bay, and probably closer than they usually are because of the stained water. They aren't getting too far away from the vibrations of those fish baits." So.
That's right. I was going to say this now. Go ahead and check our website. We always put the Famous Friday Fishing Forecast on the website. A lot of people, we have had over 45,000 hits on that. So one of the things that a lot of people look for there is fishing times, and they're on here for the whole week. So that'll be on there after lunch today. And I wrote on here, first thing you're going to see on the Panama City Report, rain, rain, rain.
And rain.
And rain. And it has been phenomenal, and we've talked about it before. But let's go over to Choctawhatchee Bay. Take a look at Choctawhatchee Bay, and just in general. The Choctawhatchee Bay is going to be muddy and all, but there's still some drum being caught, okay, up in Hogtown Bayou. And over here at the bridge now, the bridge span, you're still going to have flowing water. And if you can use if you can catch some natural, like Brad said, natural live bait, whatever live bait is in that area around the bridge spans or something, go ahead and catch that with a net if you can, and fish with that. Now let's go to, like you say, to St. Andrew Bay, and I live up on the northern end of the bay, and it's been real muddy. You live down on the southern end of the bay.
It's not muddy. The water's clean. It's just stained. It's very tannic acid in there. It's very bronzy colored. My 4-year-old Lily Grace looked at me the other day and said, "Daddy, when's the bay going to be pretty again?" And I'm like, how's a 4-year-old realize the bay is not as pretty, So we used to walk out on the dock, and, she'd look at the fish and the hermit crabs, and you just can't do that. So I hate to say it, I've been swimming. I've only been swimming since July 1st, twice.
Yeah, which is unusual.
And so it's...
And that is better. I've been up to Deer Point Dam. I've just watched it 24 hours a day. It's just coming through from Deer Point Lake. I mean, all the gates are wide open. In fact, I wish we had the camera with us. We didn't have it on. I actually saw a grass carp come through the chute. I mean, it's like you see on those Discovery Channel movies where just all that white water and this fish just pops up through the chute. There's a big old grass carp that washed out in the North Bay. So it is just all kind of turbulence up there. So the dam fishing won't be very strong. But again, I saw a guy there with a cast net trying to catch some natural bait and all, and fish in an eddy. So that's important too. And bronze color might be a better description of it instead of muddy, because it is just that tannic colored.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not muddy.
It's the way I explain to people. If you jump in a mud puddle, that is mud. It's actually silty in the water. Mm-hmm. This is like somebody just put food coloring in the water and mixed it all up. So it's clean. May or may not be healthy, but it's stained. So.
Okay, going down to jetties, we had Clay from the Dive Center on the other day, and we were talking about it. The jetties, it's the same way. Their visibility is about 15 feet, and especially when the tide is coming out and all, it's pretty tough. But when it's going back in, it's the same way.
We went to the kiddie pool about a month ago, blown away with how I've never seen the kiddie pool dirty.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it was going to be, murky, dark, You stick your hand under the water and you lost it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, but we are, with all this being said, I've got some good reports, and so has Brad. They are catching some redfish over in East Bay. I've had pictures sent to me. I didn't have time to show them today, but I showed them on Monday's show the pictures of some nice redfish being caught in East Bay. Actually, over there on I'm gonna go and show you this area. This area right in here, folks. They've caught some redfish this week. That's not too far. That's a real big grassy area. That filters the mud a little bit too. So I do know some reports of redfish over there using that spoon that you showed on the show.
Spoons are great baits. So, you know, vibrations, get out there. You know, if you stumble upon something, call Coach, give him your second best spot. We don't want your best spot. We want your second best spot.
All right, let's go down to St. Joe Bay. Now, scalloping is still going strong in St. Joe Bay. When a storm here last Saturday, I checked the radar. I thought it was clear down there in St. Joe Bay, so folks were able to get some scallops. I talked to some people who had good luck again at scallop. Now, there's some scattered reports. The biggest report, though, is again around Black's Island, and that's always been the anchor point of where to look and all. But they're not in the shallow water like they were. But you got to get out here in the deeper water, in this area here, and right here on the south end of Black's Island. There's some channels coming here and some deeper water. But that deeper water is going to be more cloudy than normal, than you would expect. Okay, so St. Joe Bay, and they caught some tarpon there last weekend too.
That's great news.
Have any of you guys caught any tarpon? Have you heard any tarpon fishing?
We have not heard much tarpon. You know, I guess the last time I was on the show when the rain first started, the tarpon bite was hot, but I haven't heard much since then.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys from over in Santa Rosa Beach in that area go down to St. Joe and go tarpon fishing. And okay, I talked to Miller down at Seaquarter Marina. Let's go to Apalachicola Bay. Talked to Blair this week. Apalachicola Bay has been slow again, but they've caught some redfish on the backside of St. Vincent Island. The oyster bars there, and like we said, now those fish are going to have to eat. Okay, and speaking of have to, we got to wrap it up.
Absolutely.
Brad, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thanks for having us. Don't forget about our mystery sale.
Mystery sale, folks. You have a great weekend. Do something good for somebody today, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.